Hey folks, how's it going? Ross here, and welcome back to an episode of Cards and Castles TV commentary. We've got some fun matches in store for you, although one towards the end that I'm not looking forward to commentate, but figured had to go in here, just for the observation of it. So, without further ado, folks, let's go ahead and jump right into match number 1. Alright guys, and the first match on our list today will be Deloso taking on DreamEater, a bit of Viking Warlock taking on the Warlock Crusader. We'll see if no interactions is in store for us. By the looks of it, might be. Flame Shield kind of puts me off that idea though. You don't usually see Flame Shield in no interaction. You know, people just go for the burns, like Incinerate. So we'll see, oh, I'm looking at DreamEater, by the way. Actually, we don't know if Deloso is running no interaction. Flame Prince is going to be the starting card for him. We'll see DreamEater, though, start out strong. Lumberjack, Imp, a solid, turn 1 to turn 2 play. Witch Bolting off the Imp, though. Not the best idea in my opinion. Sure, you're threatening the Flame Prince, death through the mischievous Imp here, but giving the draw to a deck like this, questionable. But I guess it's fine. I mean, the Flame Prince does connect with the Lumberjack, take it out, cleans up the board very nicely, throwing it back to Dream. He'll go for a Hassan City Guard, probably into Lumberjack as well, right? Okay, yep, there it is. So you can do a little bit of pushing here to kind of maybe threaten the Flame Prince. Flame Prince can equally trade with everything on the board here. We're going to decide to retreat it, set up a Church instead, which isn't actually a bad card for this, because of course you get the heal off of the flame, or for the Church, for Flame Prince. Yeah, that's the right word. And of course Horseman moves in though from Dream. Gonna go ahead and push some more damage. Looks like we're gonna heal away, or no, we're gonna buff up. I forgot. I think the Church Shield Castle, if I'm not mistaken, right? Let me just go back. I want to make sure. Probably didn't, but I want to verify that for myself, because I know the Flame Prince got a bit of a buff and then heal, I think, from the Church. And of course, yep, we're going to see Lumberjack move in. Yes, I think it's getting the heal. I think I might be seeing it wrong. Anyway, Blue Bar Bolt on the Horseman, Fear into the Lumberjack. That's going to happen. Church will heal up itself. Very nice. And there's the Reanimate there. Big card for Dream to pull now. So kind of confirms that Reanimate might be a, big focus. Sometimes the Warlock Vikings do tend to rely on Reanimate as a big card for their games. So it's no surprise that we're seeing it being run here, especially with a lot of cheap units and low health ones at that. Horsemen, Guards, Lumberjack all can be put into something bigger, maybe like a lifesteal unit, and that'll get some big value for Dream. If he can, if Deloso plays into it. I doubt he will, but we'll have to see. The Horseman does land on the castle for some damage. Lumberjack going to push in as well. I think in his mind it's fine stacking the Lumberjack for draw and not necessarily using for the Reanimate yet. There is a Cleric, so right there, gonna get some good Reanimate value off of the Cleric. Lumberjack Horseman can go in, providing a 2-body Reanimate, which isn't bad. I know people like to kind of hold Reanimate for like those big 3-body, 4-body plays here, but honestly, I do think that even a 1 or 2-body Reanimate can be pretty useful, especially when the pool includes stuff like Wraith. Very strong card to pull from a Reanimate for just 3 gold. So we'll see what Dream does here. I assume he's probably going to go for the Reanimate. I don't see any other option here that seems viable, except maybe a Darkbender setup here. But I mean, with the setup like that, why not just take the Reanimate, excuse me. And sure, Castle will get a full recovery from that, but I think in the end, having the bodies, which unfortunately is not a Wraith, is still fine. We'll see how Deloso responds. He still has that Flame Prince building up the back, a very, very big unit indeed. That's going to lead to a Arcanon General coming out, so a bit of a Last Will stance then coming out for Deloso's deck. And that, of course, he'll get the Minor Spell off of the Banshee. Good observation that he can use that Minor Spell Last Will to his advantage. We'll see how DreamEater responds. It looks like he's going to put the Banshee into the General. Good call there to provide or to stop any Last Will stuff from being more beneficial to Deloso. We'll also see a Forbidden Scroll and Darkbender play here. Reproducing the Guards, bringing them back up to 2, and getting that Darkbender set up would be very important. We're seeing a Trap go down for the Last Will deck. Kind of interesting, not going to lie. I don't usually expect the Last Will decks to run traps in general. I feel like there are better options to run, of course, like Last Will units themselves. But maybe he just doesn't have one right now and is forced to kind of play the trap. But we'll see a lumberjack go down. That's all well and dandy. Church still putting in work, though, by the way, back there. Just healing up in the back. You know, paying no mind to anything else happening on the board. We'll see a Cloak of Ice play come down and neutralize his Flame Prince. I believe... Okay, yeah, the buff is from Forbidden Scroll. I had to remember that for a minute. General does come out, does generate the draw from Lumberjack, so that's why he did push it back there to kind of make sure there's something for General. And there's the trap being activated, deflecting shield onto that General. Very, very nice use of the trap card there, meaning Darkbender can't kill it, and it's still on the board. Yenneroth does put a stop to that, though, however. Of course, going to hit the board, going to freeze everything currently standing. He'll Fear away. Looks like the Yenneroth. Yep, go ahead. And then, of course, Cleric following up, and a Tarius Files. Not enough for a Flamestorm yet, but Tarius Files could be put in the back there for the General. We'll see how Dream responds. Looks like he's going to go for a second Yenneroth here. And that's a dangerous chain setup he's got in the back there. I think if Dream pulls a Lightning Blade, big things could be happening for his side. Of course, we're not sure what's going to happen. We'll see the Ignition go off, though. That's going to, of course, deal 1 damage to the Yenneroth's. Flame Storm hits the board. A lot of things dying on both sides here of the board here. Tarius Files, Lumberjack, I believe a Guard, the Rider. We'll see a second Church be played. Cleric to follow up, of course, healing the Church. And then, of course, Cleric does die, unfortunately, through Yenneroth. He didn't kill it after all. Sets another trap. I'm going to pass it back, so probably assuming that might be a second deflecting shield. Not really sure what else it could be, really, aside from maybe detonate. But looks like we'll see another Darkbender come out. Flame shield onto the Yenneroth. Make that 2. So, not going to really outlive the Flame Prince, but of course, deflecting shield does hit the General, which is interesting. I guess he kind of realized that maybe his powering up of the Yenneroth maybe was a mistake there. The deflecting shield gets played, and of course creates the big General here. That's why he didn't hit it on the Flame Prince, even though he did have that connection. But look, he does kind of surrender here. I don't think his deck could maybe deal with the bodies that Deloso is going to start producing. And of course, you saw he was at the end. I think he just ran out of cards, right? No, he had Sniper, but not going to be enough to win it. So Dream does take match number 1, DreamEater, that is. So Baking, no, he doesn't. He surrendered. Whoops. Deloso takes the win. And that's going to be a very good performance for him and for Lashwell. A classic archetype still running wild even in 2021 and putting in the good work. So good to see that. And of course, congrats to him for winning that match. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in to match number 2. Alright, folks, and our second one is a bit of a treat here as Hamad, hopefully pronounced that right, takes on Drink. Of course, Drink, a favorite here on the channel, just for running the absolute wildest combination of cards in the ranked ladder here. But looks like he's got a Crusader Ninja for us today, going up against Hamad, who's rocking the Crusader Druid. So a bit of an unusual color choice on both sides. We'll see how each individual does, though. We do have the pleasure of seeing Drink's hand, so we'll get to see all the craziness that he pulls into his hand today. Let's start out pretty strong though with a Rider. Not too bad, not too bad. That prompts another one to come out from Hamad to respond. So we'll see. I assume the 2 damage just going to trade all on the board here, right? Yep. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good stuff. Of course, though, Drink does not have a turn 2 play, so he has to throw it back to Hamad. We'll see if he's got a turn 2, which it looks like he doesn't, even with the coin in hand. Going to prompt the Knight of Flowers to make an appearance now. Okay, we'll see. I don't think the Druid Yellow can respond to that turn, in the same turn. It cannot, so we'll see Atarius Files. We could see a bit of a dirty reclaim action here. Is that what we're going to see? No, we'll see a Nunchuck Nun. And of course, we'll see the Knight and Nun both push for some damage here. Good aggressive start here from Drink going into the mid game. Do see a Beastmaster. Seems okay. That's going to prompt the Knight of Flowers to die, thanks to the combination of Wolf and Beastmaster. Of course, Wolf giving the Bear Hog just enough to punch over the Knight of Flowers, so very good there. And of course, Beastmaster comes in to block against the Nunchuck Nun. Overall, a solid defensive display there from the Beastmaster here. But going back into Drink's turn, got some options here. He could see a Dwarf Paladin, Vicious Sunflower maybe come out. I assume, okay, yeah, it will be the Paladin. And the Sunflower. Yeah, we want to get as much units as on the board. We want to get as much units on the board as possible, so that way we can really benefit from the Nunchuck Nun's ability here. We'll probably see Hamad, though, go after the other 2 units first. I assume probably Paladin, since it is the more, it's the closer target here. And yeah, Judge does... Oh, okay, so So Judge comes out, does not engage with the Paladin, and instead kind of retreats back to protect Castle. Not sure I agree with this maneuver here. I mean, I think smacking the Paladin would have been the correct move. I mean, you take, what, the healing on Castle here, but Flower can't reach, and Nunchuck Nun, of course, will trade, but really can only benefit by popping the Sunflower, giving that a little extra buff. We know right now in the hand, not a whole lot that Drink can buff in this turn, so I think pushing against the Paladin might have been the smarter play, of course. Maybe he didn't assume that, though, because he thought maybe there would have been a stronger 6-turn play in the hand of Drink here, but we'll see how Drink now goes ahead and performs his turn here. He does end up reclaiming the Tarius files, and that seems like the the must play here, or the must play action. I fucking butchered that. But no, reclaim was, I think, the only play that he could have made here. It's not really worth giving Hamad the extra Beastmaster bounce, and while it does mean that you're bouncing a total of like 10 units, which is fine normally, I think Drink just doesn't want to give Hamad that second Beastmaster pop to help clean up some of these extra units on the board here. So we'll see. I'm not sure if I agree about the whole rushing down face thing. He's got swordsman in here, so he might as well be aware. Maybe the Hamad could be running a swordsman. Not sure, but we'll just have to see what the play is. Looks like Judge does connect with the Paladin, turn late, but still connects nonetheless here. Guardian comes out as well. Could have made the Nunchuck Nun trade there, to be honest. We would have only been giving the Sunflower that extra buff, and even then, not really a whole lot that he could do with that Sunflower in this turn. So I feel like maybe not going up against the Nunchuck Nun was the mistake here. I mean, you do have the armor after all. It just makes sense. But we'll see. We'll see if Hamad gets punished for this. Well, you will see Beastmaster die. That's fine. We'll see the Ethereal Panda come out, bouncing the Wizard back. The Wizard was the important target there, so good for Drink to get that bounce instead of just the Judge Guardian. We will see Hamad play Minotaur, though, not opting to give the not seeing Hamad opt to give the Wizard back out there. Yep, that's the right word. Wizard, of course, is the card that I'm thinking about. But hey, overall, I think this is a solid position right now. You've got Panda rushing down here. Atari Files, which still hasn't been popped, which is probably going to be a bit of annoying for Hamad to deal with, although he could always play around it. And then Swordsman coming in these next turns could be huge. We'll see if that goes anywhere. Looks like the Swordsman does come out. Yep, very nice. Followed by the Selahar Rider. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hamad, what do you got? What do you got? It looks like the Wizard comes back out again. Probably a little turn too late, but hey. Looks like Nunchuck Nun is going to hit the board, or finally actually die. And so will I believe, Panda? Yep, Panda. Creating some, weaker bodies, but still bodies nonetheless here. Ooh. Selahar Rider does not get a snipe on the Judge, nor against any Wizard here. And Reclaim actually coming to bite Drink in the ass a bit here. Because the Tarius Files is his, he can't move the Swordsman to cleave against the front of the castle here to start generating that cleave damage like he would like. It probably wouldn't have been the smart choice anyway to push, considering you've got two Wizards on the other side, but just something to take note of here. Reclaim just, maybe just peeking its ass out and saying, hi, might not have been a good idea to do that at this point in the game. But how is Hamad going to deal with this? Looks like the Paladin comes out, plus the Guardian. Okay, so now both bounce targets back onto the field. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Drink's going to have some options here. Kunoichi does connect with the Judge. Rider comes back out. I assume we might hand dump. Yeah, okay, we are going to hand dump. So Swordsman does come out again, or for the second time here, as one is still on the board. Ooh, Genevieve. You don't really see a lot of Genevieve anymore, and that's, oop, I rewinded it. But, no, you don't usually see Genevieve anywhere. Usually, when you're talking about Crusader Legends, there are some better options, Arbiter, Craxus, the two that really sparked mind here. But, I mean, Genevieve is pretty nice. A lot of people overlook her high armor, which is very useful, and, of course, the Resolve, keeping her on the board just for a little bit longer to be a nuisance. Ooh, big Loomy, big Loomy. Not as big, though, as Hamad may have liked this, however. Of course, Pegacorn's magic shields, bleh, of course, going to deflect that Lumi damage. Nothing will happen to them. Of course, the first Surgeon will be weakened, but ultimately not going to really affect the game too much here. Wizard comes in, gets a Sacred Quest Rampage combination here to do some hit and runs, meaning the first Pegacorn will ultimately fall. Okay. Drink's response going to have to be the Banshee here. He's in a top deck scenario now where he just has to work off the draw for his game. Shred of Right Cloak, actually not a bad pull. He can easily regrow that Swordsman if he needs to, but ultimately not in a great position. The dual Wizard pressure here, and one of them having Rampage, is just disgusting to face here, and even more so now. Call it for 8 hits the board. We're going to start seeing some Rangers spam, just flood Drink's side of the board here. Although he is up on damage, so maybe he can outlast him in the sudden death war here. We'll see Shroud hit the Pegacorn to provide some defense. Judge coming up to block face as well, providing some defense against Arbiter. Yep, that's right. Okay, Pacifism hits the board here. That's going to neutralize the Swordsman for now. Actually, pretty big for Hamad, since the only way that this Swordsman can come back now is either through a global buff or maybe Shadow Katana, which I doubt Drink might be running. Probably going to see a couple of interactions here. Yep, Genevieve will fall, or at least attempt to fall here, which it does. Cleric, Judge, and Pegacorn all being used to, of course, reduce that Genevieve to nothingness. And T-Rex is going to provide a little bit of fear stall here, but I think Hamad might have this game. Ranger comes in, take the big 7 out of castle, and proves, or puts Hamad on, or no, puts Drink, excuse me, on a very close timer. Yep, 7 go ahead, take it to 4. Wizard sets up in a nice position as well. He can't Rampage into the castle, unfortunately, because, of course, Rampage does not deal damage on a second strike to the castle. And then Drink, of course, he does have the Arbiter, actually, so we'll probably see him play that now. After, I think, doing a little cleanup here himself. Yep, Pegacorn being put in. Cleric eliminating a lot of targets here to provide some healing, but unfortunately does not get it. We'll play the Arbiter, though. That is the correct move here to kind of keep yourself in the game a little bit longer here. And, of course, yep, right for face. That is where you want to go after all. And then how does Hamad deal with this? He's on the back burner here. Oh, the hands clutch. Oh, boy. I don't think that's... Yeah, no, Drink's done. The Rampage Wizard, the Hands of the Saint pull. Yep, it's too much. It's too much pressure on the board here. I think Hamad does have this very, very clutch Hands of the Saint play. Beautiful way to end the game there. I don't think, yeah, looking back, he doesn't have anything. He just passes it back. He doesn't want to play anything. He just wants to hopefully have Hamad just take the win here. Looks like he's not going to. He's going to do a little bit of BM, which, again, we don't condone here on the channel, folks. And, of course, Drink does the right thing. When you see the BM, you surrender. You get out of there. You don't let them have the satisfaction of performing any more BM maneuvers here. So, very good for Hamad here. Strong win for him against Drink. I thought Drink was going to have that one, but I think he got a little overconfident, played out his hand a little too much here, and, of course, allowed the Druid Crusader to make the comeback. And, of course, the Hands of the Saint, the absolute beautiful, beautiful Hands of the Saint play there. Very strong match, and again, congrats to Hamad for winning. But with that being said, folks, we do have one more match in store, and as much as I don't want to play this match, I think we just got to get through it. We're gonna grit our teeth and get through match number 3. Alright, folks, and that match number 3 does see Hector take on Klabos. A little bit of Druid Warlock taking on Crusader Viking. Now, probably have already seen the title. You probably already know why I'm not excited for this one, but I gotta point this out because I don't know how this deck continues to survive in 2021, being the rogue archetype that it is. And you're already kind of seeing pieces of it. Forbidden City, Lore Master, Ragnar. We are seeing a War Party deck in 2021 here on the ladder, and we'll see if it can get the win against a faction combination known for being a bit more aggro heavy on the early game. Lumberjack Rider coming out from klabos. Hopefully, again, pronouncing that right. I'm not sure if I am, but we'll see. As he's already getting some good damage in. Rider, Lumberjack, and now Armory Coin that will provide even more damage. And Hector really not being able to respond in the best of ways right now. He's got the Flower Knight, which of course does get a little bit of a boost here. Hopefully that will make some moves here. And okay, nope, Shaman gonna play the play instead. Shaman against the Rider. Does connect with the Knight of Flowers, but that's fine. I mean, it can still kill off the Lumberjack without dying. I think that's what he ultimately wants. He wants to keep some bodies to kind of stall out the game, of course, to bring himself into a War Party territory. Elvish Hunter hitting the board. Not a common pick there, Elvish Hunter. You don't really see that too much, and that kind of points to the side of, hey, I've got more of a companion focus, so I'm going to run the Hunter Lady. So we'll see if Hector can deal with that. Of course, his colors aren't, really meant for back row removal, so I don't know. It's getting dangerous for him. It is getting dangerous. We'll see what he's got in the bag, though. He will pull out RedMaster. He'll start getting some draw power going, and of course protect it with the Knight and the Flower, so hopefully kind of preventing any companions from reaching the Tarius. Klabos goes for a Manticore setup. That seems fine. Of course, he's not in a position to companion spam just yet. So, of course, this does allow Hector, though, to build up a little bit more here. And this is where, War Party starts getting dangerous. You've got 2 Tariuses on the board for Hector. He's going to get started, an incredible amount of draw. And if he finds War Party within that draw, it could be over by the time the game reaches turn 10 for the deck. So we'll see if Klabos can maybe stop the Tariuses with a companion of some kind. But again, we'll have to see here as we continue the matchup. We'll see an Unholy Altar get played. And a second Mana Core. I don't know if that's the play, Chief. I don't really feel like Unholy Altar is the move here. And there is the War Party, so we know he's got it here. Look like he's going to cycle through some cards here. Oh, he discarded the Ragnar. Not what you want to see off of a discard like that. So he still has some good targets, though. 2 Yarms in hand. I think he has the room to get more, though, definitely. He's got 3 turns before a War Party hits the board here, but we are going to see what Klabos' deck is meant to do. Some big buffs here. Armory, Fat Bard hit the board. Spiny Centaur right in face, dealing with the first of 2 Tariuses, but Hector going to come right back and stronger by placing that Cloak of Ice Faithful Drake combination there. That will, of course, freeze off the other 2 units here, and of course, he is starting to use some of his own range to start chipping away at the Mana Cores. You saw a moment ago here. You saw how the back one was removed instantly thanks to, the Wizard and Tarius combination. And as well as, I think, some other interactions with Lumberjack before. I skipped ahead way too much. That's still not where we were, right? Yeah, this is where we were, I think. Hold on. We're getting there. We're getting there. Papa Red made an oopsie. Okay, yes, here we are. You saw nothing, don't worry, I am a professional content creator, nothing happened. Oh boy. So Magma Sword looks like it hits the board for Klabos. That could be a good way to clean up with this big board he's got built up back here. The weakness of War Party like this is sometimes you just want to wall up and stall. And when things like Magma Sword come out that deal 3 explosive to everything, could be a bit problematic, although maybe not in the best of locations since you put it, up here away from the action. I really don't think Hector would have had a way to protect everything on this board here if he played it more aggressively, say in the middle. I get that he's worried about chain here, and I mean, we're going to see an example of that right now, I assume, with Yarm, turn 9, right? We're going to get rid of the Mana Core. Yep, some things are going to be removed here. Just to clean up a little bit here, make some room after all. And then, yeah, Yarm does hit the board. It does push the zombie back, dealing 2. It will kill off the Hunter, Magnum Sword, and the Altar. So, and I mean, we're also just 1 turn away from War Party. So, Klabos, I believe, unless, like a rack comes out and clears the board in, like, the next turn or so, I think this might be Hector's game. As much as we don't like to see the War Party win here, I mean, it's doing what it's doing well. It's got the freeze going to kind of provide the stall. It's got the big bodies on the board, being a nuisance. It walled up, it pulled out the Tarius successfully, got the draw for them to find the War Party. So many, perfect elements working together for the deck. And, of course, we're going to see Klabos' attempt to remove some of the pieces, like the Tarius there, although falling right again into the Faithful Drake freeze. We do see the War Party go online this turn. I mean, will we see it played as a different story, though? We're probably going to see some cleanup here, though, from Hector, because there's currently just a lot on this board here. And, of course, Lumberjack draw. Would have been nice, maybe, to do that after he played the War Party to actually get some draw. But, hey, who's really worried here. And we're going to do something like, you know, Yenaroth, Dramoth, Books, Yarm, Swordsman, Priest, Horseman in the same turn. Oh, and removing the armory too. Yeah, I mean, I think he needed that armory desperately, but yeah, no, we're not gonna see it apparently. We need to see it. We can just play our entire hand of big units and force the red-white to respond with 3 cards. Dear Lord. And there's the surrender. Yep. I would have done the same thing if in the same position here. There's just no way a deck like that could face off against the War Party when it just, you know, pulls off their big combo at that point. And, you know, for some reason the deck still kicks in 2021. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it does. It does. It does, folks. It really does. So, with that being said, congrats to Hector, as much as I am in pain to say it, for the War Party win. And, of course, that will wrap up our games today. So, let's go ahead, folks, and close out today's video after a great set of great matches. Alright, folks, and with that being said, that will mean our Cards and Castles TV commentary episode will come to a close for today. Hope you guys did enjoy it, and if you did, be sure to leave your comments down in the comment section below, as well as leaving a like, sharing with your friends, and of course subscribing if you are new to the channel. It's the best way that you can support me here on the platform, after all, by clicking the subscribe button, and of course helping the channel grow. It is, you know, the best way that you can support that growth. So, with that being said, folks, that'll do it for me for now, so until next time, stay gaming.